Hello ladies and gentlemen, we are coming to you guys from central London, where in the last few minutes we've received some new updates about the whole BBC saga around the presenter. The name has now been officially come out from his wife. Hugh Edwards has now been named as the BBC presenter who was accused by at least 4 people. At the same time, we also hear from the Metropolitan Police that there's no information so far indicating to any criminal offence that has been committed. Hugh Edwards' wife was the one who came out and mentioned his name, and we are now also hearing that Hugh Edwards is apparently might be in hospital. They've said that he's dealing with he's dealing with mental health issues. So we're going to get more information on that, and that's why it's important to be cautious about all this stuff as we get more information. So the other thing that we obviously people change their updates. BBC News said something else. Sky News said something else at first. The update came that Hugh Edwards has also resigned, but the BBC sources are now telling us that he's not actually resigned. So, considering the police have said that the initial investigation, that there's no enough information to indicate any criminal offence that has been taking place. So, technically speaking, there's no criminality in it. And all we know from his wife is that he's currently dealing with some mental health issues, and he might be in hospital. I'm trying to get that confirmed as well. But yeah, that's the latest update. The name has now officially come out. We are going to get more information on that. Let's go to the live chat and get your reaction while we are out here. Firstly, Karina Parks, thank you so much for your super chat support. So let's see what you guys have to say. There are a couple of mentions of mental health issues. It's a modern case for everything these days. To be fair, at this point, a lot of people are saying, okay, there might not be any criminality involved, but it's still a bit icky. It's still a bit... Obviously, if it is the way it was presented and reported, it's still a little bit creepy. But that's the only issue about this. So the police have said there's not enough information to indicate any criminal activity. Let's see. And Bannister says, really, is it him? Yeah, it's actually officially been confirmed by Hugh Edwards' wife herself, Vicky, I believe, who's come out to say it was Hugh Edwards, and now he's dealing with some mental health issues, apparently. What else do we have here? Rich says, most people I spoke to knew it was Hugh. I understand there is also a photograph being circulated. Yes, I think some of us have seen that photograph. That came out a couple of nights ago. Tan Turner says, so Victoria Derbyshire did indeed accidentally spill the beans, it seems. Yeah. Yeah, hopefully you've seen that video that we did earlier today. What else do we have from you guys? To be fair, a lot of people, especially in the live chat and over the last few days, the target has been the BBC executives. It's mostly about the BBC culture, and considering that the BBC bosses didn't act early enough to address the issue, they received complaints 2 months ago, and then they only spoke to Hugh Edwards on the 6th or 7th of July a few days ago, and then we heard that Tim Davie, who's the boss of all bosses at the BBC, hadn't even spoken to Hugh Edwards. So they had to wait for the police to get involved and for the police investigation to confirm that they don't have enough information to indicate any criminal offence. So as far as legally speaking, as far as we know, nothing criminal. But a lot of people are saying, well, it's still a little bit icky, still a little bit creepy, if it is the way it was reported. All right, so I'm going to get more information on that later on. Obviously, I'm still in central London, so when we get back, I'm going to probably do a summary of what's actually happened since. Oh my God, I'm walking towards a building that still has some European Union flags. I don't know if you can see it. It's there we go. That's there we go. That's EU. We got some EU flags. I'm not walking that way. Let's go back. I'm not walking towards an EU flag. Why would I do that? And there's another one. And we have some rainbow flag. It's the modern rainbow flag. It's got the gender lobby and BLM, everything mixed. This is the state of central London, ladies and gentlemen. And the BBC building is just down the road, by the way, from here. The BBC, well, the new broadcasting house. Also, I've received the new version, updated version of our official merch. Hang on. There we go. We are the media. Yeah, the link is in the description if you want to get one of these. Because later tonight or tomorrow, I'm going to announce the details of our 300,000 subscribers party. That's basically confirmed. I'll give you a date now, so you can pencil it in your diary. Next Sunday, 23rd, I think it's 23rd of July, we're going to have the 300,000 subscribers party in Westminster, at the heart of the establishment. So make sure to pencil that in. I'm going to give you more details later tonight or tomorrow about where and when and all that. Obviously for you guys to book your space and everything else. It will be limited capacity, unfortunately, as usual. So Hector says, stop paying £159 to these globalist gangsters. That's referring to the BBC, the British bashing corporation. A lot of people are saying that he's playing the mental health card as usual. So for those of you who just joined, we have the confirmation Hugh Edwards has been named as the BBC presenter by his wife, Vicky. The police also came out at the same time announcing that they don't have enough information to indicate any criminal offence has been taking place. Doesn't mean it's not creepy. It just means it wasn't illegal. And interesting enough, because both of those updates came out at the same time, so clearly Hugh Edwards and his wife, they were prepared. They were waiting for the police to announce that. Then 2 minutes later they came to actually mention his name, to obviously just address the issue, basically. So apparently some people have said he might actually be in the hospital, or he's just dealing with some mental health issues at the moment. Some people say he's resigned, but the BBC sources confirmed that he hasn't resigned. He's just taking a break. And as I said, my main issue is not about Hugh Edwards as an individual. It's mostly about the BBC culture. Who and when are we going to have anybody to start the conversation about reforming the whole of the system? Because there's no accountability, there's no due process, there's no real oversight on these guys. So even if this case with Hugh Edwards, obviously as the police says, it's not criminal, these sort of misbehaviours for people who hold a position of power, because the BBC is taxpayer funded, and those who say, well, it's not taxpayer funded, there's license fee pay or whatever. Well, technically, if everybody obeys, if you have a TV at your house or a laptop, you are a license fee payer, or you have to be paying the license. Obviously, I know that a lot of people have a TV, but they don't pay the license fee. But the law says, if you have a TV, you are a license fee payer. And almost everybody in this country has a TV or a phone or a laptop. Almost everywhere, right? So technically, it is funded by the taxpayer. So for those people who say, well, it's not really the taxpayer, it is a taxpayer. It's a TV tax. So scrap the TV tax, and then we could just have a conversation about the future of the BBC. And we are here with our friends at the Met. Oh, they're doing stop and search. We got some live breaking news. We got some stop and search situation. There we go. Right, okay. So this is so over the last 5 minutes walking around central London, we've seen 2 European Union flags. We saw one rainbow flag with the BLM stuff on it and the gender lobby. We've seen the police and some stop and search situation right behind me. So they're searching a car. I'm kind of scared not to get too close in case something happens to me, but I'm just going to stay here. So yeah, for those of you, if you missed London, this is London. Oh dear. Right. So yeah, Graham says you only need to buy a TV license if you watch or record a TV. Yes, that is the official line. But obviously, in reality, they say if your TV is plugged in, then we're just going to assume that you watch the BBC. So we can obviously they don't have the power to actually come for you, but they legally could have the power to assume that you watch the BBC. So yeah, the official line for legal reasons, they say, if you do watch the BBC, but actually if your TV is plugged in, and nowadays everybody has a digital device, then I'm just looking at the stop and search situation. There we go. So that's, yeah, that is the reality. Okay, what's going on in the live chat from you guys? Mark said no crime committed to watch it. Okay. So yeah, the police, the Met obviously came and said no criminal activity, no crime was committed with the Hugh Edwards case, but there might be a bit of a crime being committed right behind me as the police continue the stop and search operation. This is the sort of content you're not going to get on the BBC. Just random spontaneous chaos in central London. This is a good angle, so you can see my face and you can see what's going on with the police and those guys. There's a lot of Hugh jokes, Hugh knew, and the police doing stop and search for the first time. To be fair, they have had some difficulties in London with stop and search. People have been kicking off. This is the first time I'm seeing a stop and search right behind me where everyone's just listening to the police and just doing their job. Where usually you have some people kicking off, and you have politicians who are still trying to cancel the program, like Diane Abbott and David Lammy and those guys, classic woke people. So it seems to be these guys that are clear. There's no arrest being taken place, but they're just standing around. So this is late. I don't know where I am. Oh, no. I'm technically lost in Central. But yeah, so I came out for a very, very different reason. And then this news came out about Hugh Edwards when his wife announced that he was the one who was being accused there. And the official line is that he hasn't resigned. I'm going to get more information later on, and when I get back, we'll do a proper update and another live stream with you guys to find out what's going on. I have no idea what's happening behind me. I wish I could just put the camera somewhere quietly, just like film the police doing the stop and search. But if I do it, it would be too obvious. So I'm talking to you guys. I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything suspicious. They're gonna come and stop and search me. Let's stop the live stream, guys, before I get arrested for causing chaos or accidentally blocking the road. Thank you so much for watching. We're gonna come back later on when we get more updates about Hugh Edwards and the BBC's scandal. Thank you so much for all the support, and don't forget, later tonight or tomorrow I'm going to give you the details of our 300,000 subscribers party, which will be next Sunday. I believe it's the 23rd of July. It will be at the heart of the Westminster establishment, the belly of the beast. I'll give you more details later on. Thank you so much. I'm Mahyar Tousi, and we are the media.